Welcome back to another episode. I'm your gracious host David, and today I'll be reviewing the Neewer 100cm carbon fiber slider. When I'm making videos, I'm always thinking, how can I improve the viewing experience of this review better than the last one? Enter the camera slider. In my MacBook Pro 2020 review, I used this slider to capture the MacBook on some diagonal angles, which gave the video a unique look. So in this review, I'll be talking about this slider, pros and cons of it, and whether content creators need a slider or not. Straight out of its case, the texture of the slider feels great to the touch. The camera deck has the brake locking knob, so the camera isn't sliding when you have to move the entire setup. A few turns of the dial, and the deck isn't moving 1mm. When the deck isn't locked, the slider glides end to end effortlessly, a good feature for when your video work involves speed. The materials used in manufacturing the slider is good, and when you're sliding the deck, there's virtually no sound. The legs can be rotated at any angle. When you release the leg locking dials and start rotating the legs, you hear the quiet teeth clicking. This minor detail is important because I want to be sure that the position of the legs are at the right angle, and I want to know that the legs won't slide out if I forget to lock a leg dial. The rails are made out of carbon fiber tubes, which is an important feature for people who want to use this in a wet or cold environment. However, I would recommend that you carry a small tower in the carrying case if you plan to work in this kind of environment. The overall weight of the slider is 2.4 kilograms or 5.3 pounds, meaning it is very light and easy to carry. When you're carrying this for distances along with other camera equipment, you want to avoid any type of muscle strain. So with the Neewer slider being so lightweight, you don't have to worry about pulling a muscle when you're transporting it up a mountainside or through a forest. The slider comes with a 1/4 and 3/8 inch screw for those who want to mount their tripod head to the slider. My advice for those who want to use the 3/8 screws outdoors: set it at home first. The screw is small and smooth, making it very easy for it to slip from your hand and get lost if you're not careful. The slider comes with 6 U-shaped ball bearings underneath the deck to ensure smooth motion and minimum abrasion on the carbon fiber tubes. As I showed earlier, the deck literally glides like friction doesn't exist. With this type of bearing, I found that I was getting great stability and quietness when I was filming. The slider is easy to attach to the tripod. Just make sure that when you're screwing it on, that you lock the slider from moving about. If you choose to rotate the slider onto the tripod, make sure your knees aren't in the path or you'll find yourself crying on the floor. You can do vertical shooting with this, but wouldn't recommend it unless you're sure you want to do this. You see, this slider doesn't have the features like a belt pulley system you'd see in a motorized slider to control the ascent and descent of the camera slider deck, so be careful if you make it vertical. Even before I placed the camera on the slider deck, I found that I had to widen the base of the tripod. See, it's very easy for the entire setup to tip over when the legs are in the usual photography stance, which I learned the hard way. Great, so now that you widen the tripod base, we can start using it, right? Well, here's the second issue. The slider bends under the weight of the camera, which leads to the slider moving too fast for my liking towards the ends of it. If you're making videos with sophisticated camera setup, having the video suddenly slide quickly to the left or right could ruin the pacing of the video. The manufacturer recognizes this and suggests that you have a second tripod. Place tripod 1 and 2 at the ends of the slider, and this bending is gone. But this is a pricey solution not everyone can afford. If you get a slider that has a belt pulley system in it, I think you can avoid this rapid sliding issue, because you're controlling the pace of the camera slider movement. So why would anyone want to have a camera slider? A slider gives you the ability to create dynamic shots of people or objects in a truly unique way. Sliders in general ensure that the level of your video is consistent, which is important for when you're doing something like stop motion animation or doing time-lapse videos. Here are some shots I did at a park with the slider. Overall, this new slider is minimalistic in design, light to transport, and it adds a new perspective to my videos. Areas of improvement would be to fix the camera weight bending at the ends of the slider, which leads to the camera rushing to the end if you don't keep your hand on the setup. For the price you're paying for the slider, it gets the job done, which is important for when you're a content creator. For more consistent slider movement, Neewer can develop a model with a counterweight and belt-driven pulley system. If you like this video, do like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.